Well, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Jashana here to talk about some friggin' books. I actually just got back to my home from unhauling books from the massive unhaul that I recorded last weekend, and I think by the time this video goes up, that video will have already been up. It was like 23 books or something like that. And as per usual, I went to the two local bookstores that take trade-ins and give you store credit. I went to Changing Hands and I went to Bookmans. And also, as per usual, I didn't get a ton of store credit from Changing Hands. They tend to only take used books that are in really, really good condition. Like you bought it brand new, you read it one time, you kept it really nice, and there you go. And newer books, newer releases. Whereas Bookmans, they have a wide array of books. Their SFF section is massive. They've got all the mass market paperbacks, they've got regular paperbacks, hardcovers, whatever, but just a ton. So they take more and they give a little bit more in store credit too, from what I have found. Unless maybe that's just because they take more, I don't know. At any rate, I got more store credit there. And I had a few books already sitting on my need to do a video to haul list, so we're gonna do that, and a couple of ebooks as well. First up, I actually have a book that was sent to me by the author. This is self-published indie author Mark Montanaro, The Magic Fix. I don't often accept a lot of self-published books simply because I want to support self-published authors for sure, but I also don't want to just accept it because I want to support you. I want to make sure I actually really think it sounds genuinely intriguing. And this one definitely does. And I read the synopsis and everything, and the sense of humor definitely is intriguing to me. I think I will enjoy it, the authorial voice, the humor in that. In this one we have elves, trolls, humans, ogres, pixies, and goblins, so very much fantasy, high fantasy. And on the back we have the humans are fighting a losing battle with the trolls. Meanwhile, the ogres are up to something, which probably isn't good. Could one flying unicorn bring about peace in the known world? No, obviously not. But maybe a group of rebels have the answer. Or perhaps the answer lies with a young pixie with one remarkable gift. Does the elvish oracle have the answer? Who knows? And even if she did, would anyone understand her cryptic answers? We all know what oracles are like. The known world is in danger of being rent in twain, and twain rending is never good. I just think it sounds definitely intriguing. The sense of humor is kind of what struck me. But also the world. High fantasy, you know I'm down. And it's a shorter book as well, so cool. But yeah, I will definitely be reading this and letting you guys know what I think. And then actually another self-published book, The Rave by J.R. Twas. And this one, I believe, is young adult, if I remember. Yeah, a teenage rebellion. And this is part of a trilogy. This is book one. It's a futuristic fantasy world, and it's a story about a teenage rebellion against the ruling elite and their gods. It sounds like a fucking fun time. I really like the cover too. But yeah, that just sounded intriguing, so again, I will check that one out. And then a couple of ebook purchases. A kind of online pal of mine, online acquaintance, friend, what have you. For quite a few years, we've been following each other on Twitter, and I've read some of her works and quite enjoyed them. Nicole Reese. She has gotten into writing kind of cozy mysteries. And she has a whole, I think she has 4 right now, and they're holiday based. So they center around a holiday. And I bought Chocolate Covered Murder, a Valentine's Day novella, and it's Holiday Shorts Book 1. So I'm excited to check that one out. She is a Black indie author, and yeah, she has quite a few. I think, like I said, in this series, I think she has 4 of these novellas. She has a young adult series that she's done. She has a new adult contemporary that she wrote, Pushing 30, which I also have on ebook, and I quite enjoyed that. I keep meaning to buy that, the physical of that one. At any rate, I'm excited to get to that. I'm probably gonna pick that one up, honestly, this weekend. It's a novella, shouldn't take me too long. This weekend is Valentine's Day. You know, it's perfect time. And then for a vlog I'm going to do of doing a deep dive into fantasy romance, smexy times, those types of books from the World Hoppers video, in that the fantasy romance recommendations video. all of the ladies in there, they were recommending all these ones. And I've heard of quite a few of them, and I've kept thinking, I want to get to that, I want to get to that, I want to get to that. And then Bree from In Love and Words was like, Jashana, you should do a vlog of reading some of these books. So I have a list of 11, and I'm going to do probably 2 different vlogs, maybe 3, depending on how it goes. But one of them that is on that list is Radiance by Grace Draven. This is definitely one that has been on my radar for quite a while, and I'm real excited to get to it. And then Chris from Bookish Cauldron, Chris's Bookish Cauldron, I think is his channel name. At any rate, he was talking on Twitter about this author, and he quote tweeted or retweeted screenshots of her answering questions that were just kind of like, you know, there's no such thing as a dumb question. They're kind of dumb questions. And her sarcasm in response was killing me. It was so funny. And I've seen her books around and I just never picked them up. And then someone had said something about Trump, and her response was top notch. I loved it. At any rate, the author in question is Mercedes Lackey, and I purchased the Complete Arrows trilogy in this big guy. I mean, I don't love the cover because it's just like that, but it is what it is. Yeah, Arrows of the Queen, Arrows Flight, and Arrows Fall. And I'm very excited. And she has a huge backlog that I could dive into if I do end up enjoying these. I really hope I do. Chris has read some of her works from what I recall and was recommending them. So I'm pretty jazzed. But yeah, I just was like, I want to support this woman. Like, she's so funny and I like her views and I want to support that. And this is her debut trilogy. So I don't know exactly how many other works she has, but I think quite a few. So now getting into the books that I got today at the bookstore. So from Changing Hands, I got 3 books and I paid for 2 of them, and one was basically free from the store credit that I got. The first one I got is The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna, and this is a signed copy, which is pretty cool. And I have been waiting for this one. I mean, it was on my anticipated list last year, but then publication got pushed back till this year. It was on my list again. This cover is stupid gorgeous. The colors, oh my good God. And it's one of these nice buttery, oh God, I love that. But yeah, I've been anticipating this a lot, and some young adult lately has been, I don't want to say letting me down, but like sort of like just not met my excitement. So I'm a little hesitant, but I have been seeing nothing but good things about this, and I've been seeing people saying that kind of it gets a little deeper than they thought. So I'm very excited. The synopsis here is 16-year-old Dika lives in fear and anticipation of the blood ceremony that will determine whether she becomes a member of her village. Already different from everyone else because of her unnatural intuition, Dika prays for red blood so she can finally feel like she belongs. But on the day of the ceremony, her blood runs gold, the color of impurity, and Dika knows she will face a consequence worse than death. Then a mysterious woman comes to her with a choice: stay in the village and submit to her fate, or leave to fight for the emperor and an army of girls just like her. They are called Lackey, near immortals with rare gifts, and they are the only ones who can stop the empire's greatest threat. But yeah, it's a debut, fantasy, obviously, and I'm real excited for this. I really hope I love it. This next one is, I think, like a classic Chinese fantasy. I don't know when was this published. This is the translated version. So let me, 1957. Wow. Cool. But anyways, it is A Hero Born by Jin Yang. It is a translated work, and some of the reviews were saying that the translation was a bit odd. The biggest complaint I saw is that some of the names are translated literally. So the biggest one is, I think, one of the main characters. There's a glossary in the front here. Hold on one second. Let me get to that. Yeah. Guo Jing, son of Sky Fury Guo. But people were saying Sky Fury. I can't remember what the word was in Chinese, but like that's what the literal translation of that Chinese word is Sky Fury. But like the other names aren't translated literally. So like Yang Kang, etc. Like certain ones are and certain ones aren't, and they weren't really sure what the reason for that was. I'm not sure, obviously. But yeah, I feel like I've heard of this, but not a lot. And I don't know, it just kind of struck me it was sitting there on the shelf. I saw the spine and I was like, hey, that looks cool. There was also book 2 on the shelf, but I don't want to buy multiple books in a series that I haven't even read. It says, in a world where kung fu is magic, kingdoms vie for power, and the battle to become the ultimate kung fu master unfolds. An unlikely hero is born. After his father, a devoted Song patriot, is murdered by the Jin Empire, Guo Jing and his mother flee to the plains of Genghis Khan and his people for refuge. For one day he must face his mortal enemy in battle in the Garden of the Drunken Immortals. Under the tutelage of Genghis Khan and the 7 heroes of the South, Guo Jing hones his kung fu skills. Humble, loyal, and perhaps not always wise, Guo Jing faces a destiny both great and terrible. However, in a land divided and with a future largely unknown, Guo Jing must navigate love and war, honor and betrayal before he can face his own fate and become the hero he's meant to be. And I believe that this was made into, was it a TV show or movies or something? In the reviews, someone who was Chinese American they were talking about the translation, and they were saying they grew up watching, like, I think a TV show. I'm not entirely sure. And some people were saying, I think maybe that review was saying that this is way darker and grittier and more gory than the shows. At any rate, I'm excited to check it out and see what it's all about. I would like to read more translated works, so that's kind of like a goal that's just in my head, in the back of my mind. So when I saw this, I said, hey, fucking cool. It sounds awesome and is a translated work. Double trouble. This next one I saw the last time I was at Changing Hands, and I almost bought it then and I didn't. And this time it was still there, and I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm getting it. It's nothing I need at all. It's another copy of The Great Gatsby. I only have 3, I think, right now. Yeah, I only have 3 copies of The Great Gatsby right now, and 2 of them are just kind of standard paperbacks, nothing like collector's style. This one, however, is beautiful. It's illustrated, and when you take this off, there's this little artwork there. The spine is fucking gorgeous. Oh my god, hello. Yeah, this cover though, stupid. And then the back, and get a sticker, Jesus Christ. Let me get to an illustration. So here's one of the illustrations. Can you see it? Yeah, I don't know. I'm real excited about this. I don't know if I'll read this actual copy, because when I get like special copies, look how cool. When I get special copies, I tend to like to keep them as nice as possible. But this one's pretty cool. So yeah, grab this. And then at Bookmans, I got 3 books. And like I said, I got a little more store credit here. And so I got all 3 of these books for $1.85. That's all I had to pay. So that was exciting. And these are used books. First one is Mageborn by Stephen Aryan. Oh, that is an unfortunate last name. Born to be Feared, Born to be Hated. Never heard of this before, to my knowledge. But I don't know, it sounded cool. I read a couple of reviews and people seem to generally like it. It sounds like it's a little slow to start, but it says, it's been 10 years since the Battle Mage War, but old grudges die hard. Habriel believes eradicating magic is the only way to ensure lasting peace. He will do anything to achieve his goal, even if it means murdering every child born with magical ability. That is aggressive. As a series of mysterious deaths place the seat of magical learning under suspicion, 2 students and 1 lawbringer must do everything they can to combat Habriel and his followers before magic disappears from the world for good. Hopefully it's good. It's a nice floppy ass paperback, which is a delight. And yeah, I'm excited. It's only like 400 pages. And then this one I've seen around before, I want to say. I can't remember where. I feel like I've seen people talk about this. The Clockwork Dagger by Beth Cato. Dr. Quinn meets Dreadnought in this thrilling, delightful tale, combining the political stakes of epic fantasy, the airships and corsets of steampunk, and the heartwarming joy of romance. It says, orphaned as a child, Octavia Leander was doomed to grow up on the streets until Miss Percival saved her. Gifted with incredible powers, the young healer is about to embark on her first mission, visiting suffering cities in the far reaches of the war-scarred realm. But the airship on which she is traveling is plagued by a series of strange and disturbing occurrences, including murder, and Octavia herself is threatened. Suddenly, she is caught up in a flurry of intrigue. The dashingly attractive steward may be one of the infamous clockwork daggers, the queen's spies and assassins, and her cabin mate harbors disturbing secrets. But the danger is only beginning, for Octavia discovers that the deadly conspiracy may reach the crown itself. I like a good steampunk situation, and I like a good romance situation. Again, I looked at reviews. They seemed generally positive, so I'm intrigued to check it out. Oh, the author lives in Phoenix, which is fun. At least when this book was published, she did. And then this one has been on my radar for, I don't even know how long, probably since it came out. The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. I've heard pretty much nothing but good things about it. I've wanted to read it for a long time, so I'm going to. It's historical. Cora is a young slave on a cotton plantation in Georgia, an outcast even among her fellow Africans. She is on the cusp of womanhood, where greater pain awaits. So when Caesar, a slave who has recently arrived from Virginia, urges her to join him on the Underground Railroad, she seizes the opportunity and escapes with him. In Colson Whitehead's ingenious conception, the Underground Railroad is no mere metaphor. Engineers and conductors operate a secret network of actual tracks and tunnels beneath southern soil. Cora embarks on a harrowing flight from one state to the next, encountering, like Gulliver, strange yet familiar iterations of her own world at each stop. As Whitehead brilliantly recreates the terrors of the antebellum era, he weaves in the saga of our nation, from the brutal abduction of Africans to the unfulfilled promises of the present day. I mean, sounds fucking badass. It won a Pulitzer Prize. Like I said, I've heard basically nothing but good things. So, wanted to get my hands on this for a hot minute, and they had it. So I did. And then a pre-order that came in was A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Kemmerer, book 3 of the Curse Breakers trilogy. I am excited to get to this, but you know, bookworm problems. I'm excited to get to all the books, so I don't know when I'm gonna actually read this. I want to read it sooner rather than later, and it probably shouldn't take too long to read either. But yeah, I don't want to say too much about the plot, so yeah. Anyway, there's that. I believe that is all. Yeah, that's all. And these were from, some of these were from December, I want to say, maybe. The end of December, and then some from January, and then some from just the last couple of weeks, honestly. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.